Valdosta here, so Waycross and Blackshear just to the northeast. Still a little bit of time with this tornado warning for Pierce and Ware counties. And yes, I know Jacksonville, you're probably thinking, well, it's just a breezy, cloudy day. I mean, temperatures are well into the 70s. That's a lot of energy for those storms to tap into, and we'll see that continue as well. Lots of lightning, so I just can't even tell you enough. If you're hearing the thunder, there's no reason to be outside, all right? We're close enough to get struck by lightning. Now, once this tornado warning expires for Dixie Union, again, just north of Waycross, north of Blackshear, we're going to see those severe thunderstorm warnings likely continue. So you should still get those alerts on your phone if you have the weather notifications turned on and also the location enabled. Now, good news for our friends out to the west is they are getting a break in the rain. They had a lot of damage early this morning, and I know we have some video of that as well. It was pretty tough to see as that sun was coming up. But again, those overnight severe weather threats are really tricky, right? Because you don't have as much of a heads up for some folks that are maybe waking up and sleeping. But you can see out in Panama City, again, confirmed tornadoes today. Quite a bit of wind damage as well. That could just be from straight line winds, all right? But again, that is Panama City. This is not Jacksonville quite yet, and we hope that the same does not occur here. But lots of energy out there today. And it's breezy at the surface. Just think about how much wind is happening up in the atmosphere, all right? We've got that vertical wind shear today. So the wind increasing with height, and when we get those thunderstorms, it can pull that energy down to the surface. So those severe thunderstorm warnings continue across North Florida, and this is Live Oak, so heading into the Lake City area as well. I'm not officially seeing those severe thunderstorm warnings yet, but I would say with this batch pulling out toward the northeast, likely to see it pretty soon out toward that I-75 corridor. The rain's really coming down. Madison, including Live Oak, Jasper, they'll soon enough see that rain begin to settle down. It's still going to be breezy on the backside of the rain, but thankfully, you know, the severe weather threat will gradually taper off from west to east. So looking at the big picture and those temperatures, again, 76 right now in St. Augustine. Once that rain rolls through, we're at 66 in Valdosta. These are surface winds coming out of the south. 20, 25 miles per hour we've seen sustained today. We've had gusts up to about 50 miles an hour. Again, Duval County, just to really quickly break it down for you, stormiest is going to be between 2 and 5. These impacts haven't changed, all right? So if you've been looking at those county by county impacts online, again, 3 to 7 for St. John's and Flagler. You can get all of this on that First Coast News app. You can get all of it on firstcoastnews.com. And we're going to continue to track these storms as they push through. We're going to give the all clear for places like Lake City and out toward Baker, Union, Bradford counties sooner than we will out toward the coast, of course. So headed out into the next little bit here, going to be watching the weather pick up in Duval County. We've yet to really see it move into the actual county just yet. Any updates that you're seeing over there, Tim?
I am not seeing any. It looks like this tornado warning will expire shortly, and so we'll keep a close watch on that. Of course, we're also watching very closely to see if anything else pops from the squall line. But as Lauren has been mentioning, folks, even if you're not under a tornado warning, and even if your area is not put under a tornado warning, as the squall line comes through, this squall is and will be producing winds gusting to over 60 miles per hour, possibly isolated gusts to 75. So we are going to see some tree limbs come down. We already have, and we're going to have debris as well. So even without the tornado warning, as the squall line comes through, plan on, if for lack of better terms, about a 2 to 4 hour tropical storm warning type event. And so anytime that we have winds of severe level, which is 60 miles per hour or more, then we're going to have some wind damage. Again, if we get those isolated gusts to 75, if we get some isolated tornadoes, then the damage will become much more significant. But even with gusts to 60, high-profile vehicles going over the high bridges and the limbs and the tree canopy that we have can cause a lot of problems.
Yeah. Especially when we're getting those consistent gusts as well. I mean, they're frequent gusts of about 40 plus miles an hour out there. So no official reports. It actually looks like maybe we can zoom in over to northern Ware County. We've got some storm reports that are starting to come in here, and they might even be outside of Ware. It looks like they're Jeff Davis, but same cell just to the north, just a little bit here. So again, we've got that tornado watch. They're actually now extending it farther to the south. So if you have friends or family in Tampa, out toward that I-4 corridor through Orlando, Daytona Beach, up and down 95, it's going to get rough as we head into the next few hours. And if you're watching in Duval County again, just be thankful. Maybe you don't have anywhere to go this afternoon. You normally would to go pick up the kids. You're not going to have to be worrying about that today. Out in Lake City, we have a photographer out that way, and you can see those windshield wipers going, all right? Again, not officially in any warnings, but in that watch. So ingredients in place for maybe some rotation, and if we see that, we'll see that warning pop for the tornadoes. Also, we could see that severe thunderstorm warning continue to just kind of blanket the area as they head to the east, and that would be for the threat of straight line damaging winds, which can do a number, right, on trees, fences, roof shingles, etc. So right now, thankfully, it looks like he's one of those back roads, kind of quiet out there, but the roadways are wet, and also the rain is going to continue to fall down pretty heavy in some pockets. It looks like we have another 2 minutes or so until this warning expires for Ware and Pierce counties. So again, until 1:30, and this may be just a taste of what we see later on as this line continues to pull to the east. And remember, tap into all that energy, those temperatures in the 70s. If you've stepped outside at all today, you know that it feels a little bit different out there. This very strong cold front is really going to bring some cold weather behind it as well. So just prepare for that. We've got a couple days of needing the layers behind this stormy weather, and then we've got another stormy day expected on Friday, at least for some of us. So we'll get to that after we get through this today. But the yellow again for that tornado watch, I can encourage you while we've got all this information scrolling on the screen, if you see that QR code for our First Coast News app, make sure you point that camera app toward it on the phone. Go ahead, click the link to download, and then when you download it, make sure those settings are correct. Weather notifications turned on, location enabled, and so if you do live in Waycross, you more than likely got that warning on your phone. If you live in Ponte Vedra, St. Augustine, you didn't. You're thinking, what tornado warning? Again, this is why we've been on air for our friends in the Waycross Blackshear area. They're not officially in that warning, but again, it's just to the north, including northern Ware and then a little sliver of northwestern Pierce County. I would say at this point, the worst of that weather is now moving out of that warning. However, it's still really windy out there. Even outside of that initial rotation, we were seeing those wind gusts up of 80 plus miles an hour. We've got another shot that we are going to take. Jamesia, you just told me where it was. This is Tampa. And so again, Tampa to the south, obviously of the First Coast in central Florida, we're seeing now that tornado watch extended across the state and into central Florida as well. So some pretty windy conditions out that way. You can see the waves. I wonder what bridge this is. Got family out in Tampa, St. Pete, and I've driven over those many a times as well. But as we look at our local radar here, I mean, we're probably even out towards some of our coastal communities, seeing that wind kind of bring those waves up along the seawalls today as well, just flapping in the wind. It's pretty gusty out there outside of the storms. 1:30 officially now, so I would say if we haven't had any news, we can go back to programming because we should have that warning expire, and it'll pop off of our graphics pretty shortly. So again, if we get any other future warnings, we'll pop back on here, and in the meantime, make sure you're downloading that First Coast News app, making sure you're staying weather aware for the rest of the day.